Well, good morning and welcome to the show. Jeff Beals here at your service. Glad that you have joined us on this post-apocalyptic storm morning. If you're listening, you survived. Congratulations, and we're glad you're with us, and we're glad you're hopefully safe and hopefully didn't suffer any sort of property damage. Well, the show is the only one in the metro area that is focused on the growth and development of said metro area. We talk about business, construction, real estate, economic development, really anything related to Omaha becoming more vibrant, more prosperous, and maybe even a more profitable place to do some business. We want to thank our sponsors. They are Cheer Athletics, the nation's #1 all-star cheer gym, along with Dingman's Collision Center Best of Omaha Award winner for your auto, body, and mechanic needs. Without any further ado, time to bring on my co-host, a man who is a legendary real estate deal maker from NAI NP Dodge, Trenton Magid.
Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, everyone. Hope you survived and not too much damage, not too many branches, and hopefully no large trees that need to be hauled away.
Yeah, at my house we had, I noticed when I was leaving, like maybe a 2-inch diameter branch, so I can take care of that pretty easily after I get back from the radio show. Nothing compared to that big storm we had at the end of July last year where an entire side of my fence blew down. So fortunately it wasn't so bad today.
Yeah, it's messy out there, and when you're in the middle of the night and all of a sudden the sirens are going off and you don't know what's going on.
I think there are a lot of people that had a rude awakening this morning, but at any rate, we are glad that you are awake and you're with us here today. We don't have a Grow Omaha Eats restaurant review from Chris Corey this week. We do them every 2 weeks, and this is an off week. But there will be one next week, and you can read all of the reviews Chris has ever done, going back to the very first review, simply by going to growomaha.com and clicking on reviews on the navigation bar, and then there's a drop down. You have Eats for restaurants and Flicks for movies. You can see all of the restaurant movie reviews. Chris just reviewed the Naked Gun sequel that came out, and 3.5 out of 4 stars, so I think I might have to go see it. I loved the original.
I'm having a hard time with the movies that are out today. I love me some Bill Barstow and ACX 12 Plus and Exarban, but I don't see a lot of movies that fit my genres.
Well, you can go see Naked Gun with me if you want.
Okay, but we might have a seat between us.
Okay. Either that, we can bring someone with us. At any rate, either way, we are going to waste no time going into our news of the week, the development news of the week, that is, sponsored by Eagle Mortgage. We love Eagle Mortgage. They have been a big part of this show for the last decade. We know them very well. Holly Schneiderwind is in charge of things over there, outstanding mortgage broker and a really good leader. She's got a team that really is responsive to their clients' needs. You know, for most people, buying a house is about the biggest thing they do, and you want to make sure the financing is taken care of. Eagle Mortgage does just that. They're a mortgage broker, which means they can shop a variety of banks and find the best lending solution for you, regardless of what type of loan you're going to do. The best thing is, if you're thinking about buying a house, just go meet with Eagle Mortgage, talk to one of their mortgage brokers, and they will help you through that process. EagleMortgageCompany.com. Well, Trenton, a little bit of retail news today. This week, the Omaha City Council approved plans to expand the former Yonkers store at Westroads Mall. There has not been an official announcement yet as to what store is going in there, but it is Dillard's. Dillard's has not confirmed that, but the city building permit indicates that it's Dillard's department store. Some would say it's been the worst kept secret in Omaha retail history. They've been working on this deal for a few years now, and we don't know for 100% certain whether Dillard's will be closing its Oakview Mall store. We hear that they might be, but we don't know that for certain. It's going to be a 32,000 square foot expansion. The expansion will be 2 stories. It will bring that entire anchor store space to nearly 208,000 square feet. As part of the project, the Granite City building will be demolished because they want some more parking, having a big department store there. Space has been vacant since 2018.
It's been hard to lease.
And it'll be a big shot in the arm for Westroads Mall.
Yeah, and at the same time, assuming they closed Dillard's, which I'd be shocked if they didn't, Oakview is on everybody's mind, and I hear it all the time, that the location is a great location. The tenant mix, the type of structure, it is so complicated to take. I think it was like $7 million or something to tear down Crossroads. And here you got a bunch of different owners of the boxes. You've got a absentee owner who's out of Florida that has the main part and the physical plant. You've got easements. You've got all kinds of agreements. So you can't just go and take, I'd love to go take Sears and turn it into Storage Mart or something like that. But some people might not like that. But so the question is how do you revive that thing? I've heard everything from like a kind of a ethnic, kind of a market where you have a bunch of different booths and things like that. But it's going to be an expensive transformation. The building, unfortunately, probably has to come down for it to really fill up and get people excited. And the ring road is kind of a mishmash use as well. So my prediction is that Dillard's will be out. It'll be interesting to see if JCPenney is going to be the last retail box standing there or not. So
I'll be surprised if Dillard's leaves. I'll be surprised if JCPenney stays open very long.
Right, and it's when you tear a building down, all that structure and everything else, it becomes an expense, right? You have to tear it down. It costs millions of dollars to tear that thing down and have a clean slate. And then what are you going to put there? Apartments and,
My prediction is Oakview stays, partly because of that reason. You don't have it unless there's something I don't know about. I don't see how there's a big demand for some other user to go there that would need that space, especially with the cost you would have to absorb to get rid of them all. My prediction is it stays. It limps along until, as I've said before, we get to that point sometime between 10 and 25 years from now where there's a massive nostalgic resurgence of indoor malls, and it'll become one of the hottest things in the world. And like I said, mark my words, people, because this will happen 10 to 25 years from now. People will say, I can't believe they tore down these awesome malls back in the day. Those people were so short-sighted and stupid.
Well, it's not going to be your father's indoor mall, I can tell you that.
Probably be a little more exciting than the Westroads Mall circa mid-'80s when you and I would hang out there as
My mom can
kids.
drive if yours can pick up.
But with that, we are anxious to see what it will do to Westroads to have that big space filled, nothing but positive happening to that area. All right, people who enjoy listening to Grow Omaha are people who like buildings and they're proud of their town and they want to know what's happening. If you are that kind of person, there is an event taking place today that was designed with you in mind. It's called Open Omaha. It's a free metro-wide open house celebrating some of the city's most fascinating buildings, whether they're cultural buildings, art buildings, sports buildings, whatever the case may be. It's the fourth annual one. It's today starting at 11 a.m. There are 44 different venues or buildings that are open, and you can go in and it's kind of like a behind the scenes tour or inside access. And some of the venues that are going to be on display and open for you to see today are the Conagra Brands offices, Joslyn Castle, the Hardy Coffee Company Roasting Lab, the infamous Squirrel Gauge jail in Council Bluffs, UNO's Mallory Kuntz Planetariums. You can go see Steelhouse Omaha. A lot of people haven't been to Steelhouse yet, and you can see what it's really like in there. Get a behind-the-scenes tour of Rails West History Museum.
Don't cost nothing.
You can even get a tour of Central High School. Now, Central grads are probably like, why would I go back? But maybe you want to see how it's changed since you were at Central High. So if you want to participate in this today, actually, I said 11. It's actually 10 a.m., and it goes to 4 p.m. There is an app, but the best thing to do to get started, just go to openomaha.org, and they'll have all 44 venues there, and you can choose which ones you want to visit and pop in and take a look.
Get to know your city, ladies and gentlemen. It's so funny people say, oh, there's nothing to do in Omaha. I guarantee you, if you're bored in Omaha, you're going to be bored in Los Angeles, New York, all over the world. So there's a lot of great amenities, and here you have a chance to experience them for free.
If you're bored in Omaha, you're a boring person. West Development, the developer of the recently opened parallel apartments that were part of MH Landing, the old Cocoa Key redevelopment site northeast of 72nd and Grover, presented a plan to the City Planning Board this week to build a $30 million assisted living and memory care facility right there in the one open remaining development lot. It's a proposed 3-story building. It would be immediately south of the new parallel apartments, and this memory care assisted living place would have 100 units, 20 of which would be for memory care, $3.3 million in requested tax increment financing.
Great developers, Brett West and partners, and we actually have about an acre and a half listed right next to there. So if you want to be close to your loved ones that are in that place, let's talk.
A local developer has broken ground on Blair Crossing Apartments, an apartment project in Blair, right at the conjunction of Highways 30 and 133. It'll be a 133-unit apartment project. What's interesting about this, Blair's first major multifamily development in more than 20 years.
That's surprising.
Yeah, I am too, because Blair's been growing and it's an important Omaha bedroom community. But I've got a feeling you're going to see the growth in that community accelerate, get a little bit faster.
Absolutely.
Girls Inc. unveiled plans for a new building to replace its Emma Logier Center in South Omaha. The address is 2108 L Street. The new building will also be called Emma Logier Center, but it's going to be 5 times the size of the existing one. It'll be able to accommodate 300 girls for programs and events, and it'll be somewhat similar to Girls Inc.'s new center in North Omaha. So it'll have a full-size gym, maker space, instructional kitchen. Like the North Omaha Center, it'll also have a fleet of vans for after-school and field trip transportation. It's going to be a $35 million project, or at least up to $35 million project, and groundbreaking is scheduled for October.
The Logier Foundation, I asked somebody from North Omaha that's been in politics forever, and I said, what is the most successful, effective North Omaha, of what's foundation for North Omaha? And they said, without a doubt, it's the Logier Foundation. And the gentleman that runs it does an amazing job, and they're prolific. And it's not just there, but it's all over Omaha as well.
Yeah, they do great work, and we are so fortunate to have a very generous and very big philanthropic community in our city. And that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes your news of the week, which is brought to you by Eagle Mortgage, eaglemortgagecompany.com. We're going to take our first break of the hour, and when we come back, we're going to bring on Jason Lanoha, head of Lanoha Real Estate and Development Company, and we're going to talk about some of their cool projects, not the least of which is the Union Pacific headquarters skyscraper under construction downtown. But we're going to talk about other things that they have going on, like the potentially the old Mutual of Omaha campus, Heartwood Preserve in West Omaha. Going to be a great interview. Stay with us. You are listening to Grow Omaha. It is brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center, along with Cheer Athletics on News Radio 1110 KFAB. And welcome back to the show. Jeff Beals here, sitting next to Trenton Magid. We are brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Cheer Athletics, the nation's #1 all-star cheer gym. We love all-star cheer. Why? Because it's such a great way for kids to get involved, and it's going to be an Olympic sport in 2028. The only cheer athletics in this region of the country is here in the Omaha area, just southwest of Highways 50 and 370 in beautiful Papillion. You can find out more at caomaha.com. Well, I understand that I got my Fortune 500 companies mixed up. Before the break, I said we're going to talk about the Union Pacific headquarters skyscraper. Sorry, that's only 19 stories, and it's been around since 2004. We're going to talk about the Mutual of Omaha skyscraper is what I meant to say, and a few other projects. We have with us here today Jason Lanoha, head of Lanoha, which is a real estate development company. Jason, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. It's quite an honor.
Well, it's an honor to have you here, and we hear you've been a little bit busy lately.
We're trying to stay busy. We're trying to match your all's efforts to grow Omaha.
Well, and if you're not sure what we're talking about, folks, Lanoha is the developer of the 44-story Mutual of Omaha future headquarters tower. And Jason, we want to spend a little bit of time on that project, certainly redefining the look of the city. Maybe we could start with where are we with it right now and give us kind of a progress report.
Yeah, sure. So where we're at now is the tallest piece you'll see of it is the shear core, which will be topping out here in September. Steel's chasing it up. That will finish out by the end of the year, and Enclosure's chasing that up as well.
So you're on the 42nd floor, and you're going to be 44?
It's 44. Our floor to floors, it's deceiving because our floor to floors are very big, so they're 15 feet. Our top floor is a double height floor, and then the canopy or the enclosure wraps up taller. So yes, it's 44 levels, but it's taller than.
So most towers are around 12 foot of floor, maybe.
Yep.
And so why did they choose to go 15? Just because they're...
Well, we did a couple things. One, we're big believers in there's certain things you can change in a building, right? You can change out carpet and all these things. Changing the floor to floor height can't happen. Doing the proper enclosure, right? So those things are important to get natural light in. Also, what is very interesting about this building that doesn't exist around here is on most of the workplace floors, we have an underfloor air system. So instead of all your duct work, the saying is don't share your air. And we remember we were designing this post-COVID. It's the first major post-COVID office building in Omaha. But it allows, you have a 12-inch platform that everyone works on top of basically, and it's pressurized. And so it's very flexible for future space. And so
people can shut off their vents and stuff?
Yeah, it's literally a little diffuser. But what's great about it too is it's super flexible, right? So if you have a floor that's open airspace or open offices, and then in 5 years you want to put the legal team there and build a bunch of offices, you're not redoing any of the duct work or anything. So keeps everything nice and clean. But yeah.
Oh, I was going to say, well, I'm going to ask a couple specifics about where we are with the building right now. So we talked about floors. Any estimate as to how many feet tall the sheer tower is right now and how much we have to go before it reaches maximum height?
Yeah, so we will reach maximum height on that in September. So
okay.
We're a month out from that. So it will finish out. The building finished out 677. I should know where the core finishes out. It's a little below that. I just don't know that answer. And what's fun is that tower crane builds itself up. It's a self-jumping tower crane, and then it will actually take itself back down at the end of the project. But that's got one more major jump to go. But what's cool about that is that will finish out at 750 feet high.
Oh, wow. What's it right now, about 700?
It'd be about 700.
We're talking about the tower crane. The building will be 677 feet high. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so you mentioned you got a couple more floors to go, and the top floor will be a double height floor.
Yep.
But there's a little, you called it like a crown or something, so it'll actually be even a little taller than the top floor then when it's all said and done.
Absolutely.
Quite a bit, won't it?
Quite a bit. And so one, that's architectural feature, right, to continue the facade because the building somewhat tapers. But it's also a very nice way of hiding all the air handling gear.
Mechanical.
What's their plan for signage on this thing? It's all glass. So will there be a big Mutual of Omaha?
Yes. Yeah. We've gone through and got that all approved at the city. So there will be some signage up there. I suppose there'll be some nice shots from the CWS and ESPN every year of the lion and in the building.
Oh,
Our own Brad Williams.
I love that.
Has made friends with the crane operators and stuff, and he's taking some amazing photos that you've probably seen on our channel.
I think we're going to start charging him royalties.
He's
The crane operator. Wait till he starts charging us.
Yeah.
So, Jason, any surprises? I mean, it's not very often we get a skyscraper in Omaha.
Yeah.
What has surprised you about the project, or anything unexpected that people might find interesting?
Sure.
To hear?
Well, as you have probably paid attention to since COVID occurred, the markets for labor, material, and pricing, and now tariffs, and it's been a lot to navigate. And I'm very thankful we got a great team and a proactive team that we're out there buying like raw steel in advance to hedge and do all these other things. So that was challenging. I'll tell you the other part that's challenging about building a skyscraper like that in a city like Omaha is, as you'd mentioned, Jeff, we don't build many of them. So the pool of tradespeople that build these are not necessarily in Omaha. Now, at the same time, though, we all collectively between Lanoha, the design team, and most importantly, Mutual of Omaha, we wanted to keep as many of these dollars here locally. So we really fought hard. That was probably the biggest challenge. We kept about 75% of the dollars. I think it's 73%. 73% of this building, the dollars are spent with local folks, and which is huge, right? That's how you keep those tax revenues here and flowing. So that was probably the biggest challenge, where you have a deeper sub base that builds towers in fill in the blank, Chicago, let's say. But we have a great team. We were able to navigate it, and I'd say we're very happy where we're at.
Everything's
today.
on track.
Everything's on track, absolutely.
And so Lanoha is the developer, Mutual of Omaha is the client.
Yep.
How does that relationship work? You know, obviously, you and Mutual have to work pretty hand in glove on a project. How do you work with Mutual?
Well, one, you have the sponsors of the project, the leadership, James Blackledge and Rick Rabchek, so CEO and CFO. And then they have a wonderful core team assigned to it, and our job essentially is to deliver them everything they want at the best value. So it's let's say we've all been together every day for about 5 years now.
You know each other well.
We know each other well.
And Jason's overinsured with his life insurance.
Well,
his whole neighborhood.
My wife insured that. Yeah.
We're talking with Jason Lanoha from Lanoha, which is developing the Mutual of Omaha Tower. But they have some other projects up their sleeve as well. And we're going to take our middle of the show break for the news. But when we come back, we're going to ask Jason about plans for the existing, soon-to-be old Mutual of Omaha campus. And we'll also talk about Heartwood Preserve out in West Omaha. So stay with us. You're listening to Grow Omaha, brought to you by Cheer Athletics and Dingman's Collision Center on News Radio 1110 KFAB. And welcome back to the show. Jeff Beals and Trenton Maggot here, broadcasting live from the KFAB Penthouse Studio, high above Underwood Avenue in beautiful downtown Dundee. This is the only show dedicated to the growth and development of your favorite city. We want to thank our sponsors. They are Cheer Athletics and Dingman's Collision Center, which has 4 metro area locations. Take very good care of your car if you get into an accident, door dings.
Tree falls on it.
Well, that happened, I think, a lot this morning. So there are probably a lot of people that are going to be going to Dingman's and saying, fix this damage from the damn tree that fell on the car. But you can find them and they'll do a great job for you. But before we get back to our interview with Jason Lanoha, we do want to have our Noddle Company's Commercial Real Estate Development Spotlight of the Week, in which we talk about things happening in or around one of Noddle Company's many local projects. You know, they're a national developer, but here in Omaha, have Exarban Village and the Builders District and so many other great projects. And Noddle Companies, under the leadership of Jay Noddle, a big community philanthropist and volunteer. Good team of people there, and you can learn more about Noddle Companies by going to, appropriately enough, noddlecompanies.com. At any rate, this week, we wanted to kind of elaborate a little bit more about Village Point West. Last week, Brad Williams and Lou Chiganos were in substituting for Trent and me, and they mentioned some things going on at 180th and Burke, just west of Village Point. We have a Kia dealership going in there, as well as Hyper Energy Bar, drive-through business out of central Iowa. And then Trenton, also not part of that Noddle Companies project, but just a little bit to the north. A lot of people in that area have said, what's being built there? It's going to be a Twin Peaks restaurant.
Yeah, I had something to do with that. I'm their casting agent. No, I represented them on...
He's a human resources nightmare, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, you can't press the button for that one. You could. But no, Twin Peaks, it's going to be a real Twin Peaks, not the converted... Not a drive-through Famous
Twin
Dave's Twin Peaks that was out on West Center Road. It's 8,000 square feet, big patio. And their food is good. They have brisket and all kinds of good stuff. And the owners have about 9 of them. So that'll be good. And that'll be complementary to everything that's going on over there. It's funny how people say, well, why are we getting another Kia dealership? Well, the Kia dealership that was over on 84th and F is now way out on 370 by the interstate. Steve Hinchcliffe and H&H does an amazing job, and that'll be a nice addition to Village Point West, and they build a quality product.
And that is your Noddle Companies Commercial Real Estate Development of the Week, brought to you by Noddle Companies. Well, we're going to go back to our interview with Jason Lanoha, Lanoha Real Estate Development Company. And we talked a little bit about the Mutual of Omaha Tower, which Lanoha is developing for Mutual of Omaha. But Jason, let's go just a little bit west. And when Mutual moves into the tower, they're going to be leaving behind a pretty big complex in Midtown right along the streetcar line. What are your thoughts and plans so far, at least as far as you can say, about the old Mutual campus?
And you're the master developer, obviously.
Yep.
And are you going to do the whole thing, or are you going to piece it off?
Yeah, we will acquire all the ground from Mutual of Omaha.
How big is that campus?
That's a heck of a question. Big? Huge. Huge.
We'll take it.
Well, so Jeff and Trenton, quick little background. So when we started this whole project, we called Project Beacon, which most people know is the tower downtown. But there was there are three legs to that made the whole thing happen. One was obviously the tower downtown. Two is what can happen in this Midtown campus. And then three was, we were adjacent to, but big proponents of the streetcar connecting all of it. So what we are calling Midtown Forward, and it's not a name of a project, it's just our internal efforts. We are master planning out everything essentially from 480 to 36th Street. So that will include, there are quite a few vacant parking lots. There are 3 parking structures that the city of Omaha just acquired that will serve as essentially the main park and ride hub along the streetcar, and will allow us to build more density in there. But so we're really thinking forward what we can do there. And our main goal, as we were talking before the show, is there aren't many places in Omaha where you can really strive to add real new jobs to the market. Taking a swath of land, and I call it some of the best dirt in the state, with now some public transportation being built along it, all the major employers. We think this is our shot to do that. We think it's our duty to do it. And so it might take a little longer, but we're very focused on getting together all the right private and public folks together to help actually bring new jobs and companies to Omaha.
Will most of the structures stay?
Yeah, so there are obviously a number of parking structures, but the 2 main structures I'm assuming you're referring to are Mutual's current office buildings. So the building south along Farnham Street is still a wonderful office building. I foresee that being an office building for a long, long time.
It's already mixed tenants to already.
It is. But it's a really good building. It'll fit a nice slice of the market of.
Will the dome stay?
Yeah, and then so if we're jumping on the north side of Farnham, the current HQ is well, as we said, it's huge, and it's been built on for over 100 years. I believe 5 times. So technically 4 buildings, but one of them was built. The tower piece is built in 2 phases. That's a more challenging building. That's never going to be an office building again. We all know that. But what we think, though, is that it's too important of a building for it to go away. And so, we firmly believe it needs to stay, and it will stay. We are going through, and I'm going to leave out a few details because I don't want to get ahead of other folks. But we are actively master planning out, underwriting, budgeting what's going to happen in that building. Including the dome. And so we're excited to announce some stuff later this year on that.
A lot of people don't realize that there's office space and storage space under Dodge Street.
Yeah, it's a huge building. I mean, tunnels, multiple cores. It goes 2 levels below the dome, so 3 total levels below the dome. There's a lot of space.
I want to, we only have a few minutes left with Jason Lanoha, and I do want to go out west to the Row at Heartwood Preserve. You want to give us a little update about what's happening there?
Yeah, so we broke ground on our first building, 120,000 square foot mixed use building. Olson Associates, their old name. Olson has been both a great partner and anchor tenant for the building. So that thing's screaming forward. They're going to be in there in the first half of next year. And actually on Thursday or Friday, we started standing the first precast panels for the first parking structure out there. We recently announced a 160-key Marriott Autograph brand hotel right adjacent to it, which we're very excited about.
Is there a name for it?
I'm
great with names.
Yeah, any suggestions?
The Lanoha.
No, that will not happen.
The Ohano.
We're down to there you go back. It's like the Exarban thing.
Yeah.
There you go. We're down to a few names, and we're working through some trademark things to make sure we can actually have those names. But our goal there is to have it be the best hotel in Omaha, and I really mean that. So we have a 6th floor rooftop bar, a 2nd floor outdoor pool. So we're really trying to bring some of the things that you see in larger markets to Omaha.
Do you think it'll be open in 2 years or?
Well, that is quite a debate right now with all of our consultants. They want to take more time than we want to give them. So,
Funny how that happens.
That's a pretty good target, yes.
So when we're talking about the row, we're talking about the middle of Heartwood Preserve, because Heartwood Preserve itself is 500 acres that goes from Applied Underwriters headquarters to Dodge.
Yep.
And so this, as I understand it, Jason, will be a very walkable mixed-use development right in the middle.
Absolutely. So, to your point, 550 acres, spearheaded and the vision of Applied Underwriters, which have been wonderful partners to us and I think of the city. And then, yes, we're building what's called the downtown of it. So parking structures, walkable community, trying to build something that doesn't exist in Omaha.
Parking structures are expensive.
They are. Cars are expensive in general. When can we get away from these things?
It might be coming.
I hope you're right, because parking structures are expensive. We all talk about we want these great walkable cities, but meanwhile we need to take every other block and put parking on it. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, well, and that is one of the reasons we're so excited about what you guys are doing downtown, midtown, streetcars. And Jason, I'm afraid we're going to have to cut this off today, but we need to have you back. Maybe we could have you on, in a few months, and you can give us kind of an update, and maybe we'll even know even more about the Midtown Mutual Campus.
I'm in. I would love to do it. I appreciate it.
All right, that's Jason Lanoha, head of Lanoha Development and Real Estate Company, talking about the two mutuals and Heartwood Preserve. So we're going to take our final break of the morning, and you know what that means. When we come back, it'll be your Perkins Kreitzer Construction Lightning Round, so stay with us. You're listening to Grow Omaha, brought to you by Cheer Athletics, Dingman's Collision Center, and Perkins Kreitzer Construction on News Radio 1110 KFAB. It's the Perkins Kreitzer Construction Lightning Round, in which we talk about a lot of things really fast. Thank you to Perkins Kreitzer Construction for making this possible. It is under the steady hand and highly qualified leadership of one Dave Kreitzer, a good friend of the show. And I talked to Dave Kreitzer not too long ago. I said, Dave, you've got all these cool projects that you have going on. Give me a little bit of intel. So he did. He answered one of those "what's happening at" questions. See, at Grow Omaha, we are peppered with questions. We can't answer all of them because there are so many of them. What's going on here? What's going on there? Well, a lot of people were saying, what's going on with that Popeyes that is under construction southeast of 168th and West Maple Road? And Dave Kreitzer let me know, because Perkins Kreitzer Construction is building that. It is now looking like a September opening for that restaurant. It had been delayed because apparently during construction, Popeyes corporate had a bunch of changes that they wanted to have happen, and the local owner kind of has to work with that. So Popeyes construction coming to a close soon, and the restaurant opening in September. So not only do you get a Perkins Kreitzer Construction Lightning Round, you get a Perkins Kreitzer project update.
So they're going to change the fryer oil twice a year instead of once a year?
Trenton, don't say not nice things about a place that you and I both know we love.
That's true.
And when we were in college, we used to go there all the time.
True.
Because when we were in college, Omaha didn't have a Popeyes, but there was one in Lincoln. And in the summer break, we would drive all the way to 48th and Vine Street in Lincoln just to have that Popeyes chicken.
And red beans and rice.
All right. Draftcade, a retro arcade bar and restaurant, has opened in Miracle Hills, west side of 114th. It is attached to the recently relocated Funny Bone Comedy Club.
I'll be there tonight.
Really? What do you...
Very excited. Christopher Titus, one crazy guy, and his wife opens for him. And Colleen Quinn is the managing partner of the Funny Bone, and this is the first time I've been to the new one in the arcade. Africa on a Plate plans to open around September 1st in the former Panda House Chinese restaurant downtown 16th and Farnham. It has a lot of African cuisine, but specializes in South Sudanese culture. And like I said, they're hoping for a September 1st, but they might be a little bit later in the month. I'm just glad they're using plates.
The Fox Den will open soon at 4916 Underwood Avenue in Dundee. It replaces La Beau, which is a bodega that closed July 26 after being open for only about a year. It's underneath Ude Lali, which is a restaurant our own Chris Corey reviewed a while back. A very popular place, but similar, ownership and all that sort of thing. And the Fox Den will share Ude Lale's mission with reentry, getting former prisoners into the work world. The Tenant, which was a rooftop bar that opened last August at 62nd and Maple in Benson, has rebranded to Little Riot. Little Riot. I know that's a dangerous name.
I think I would have kept the Tenant.
But at any rate, it is now Little Riot, despite Trenton's opposition to the name. You can check it out in downtown Dundee. The Beanery is taking over the former Rally Coffee space at 178th and Highway 370 in Gretna. It just opened a couple days ago. It is northeast. I already said the location, but the Beanery has a bunch of existing locations, primarily in Sarpy County, it looks like. And the Rally coffee business is still open. They just are focusing on their north downtown location. We have Unity Seafood has opened at 76th and Cass. And when you drive by, it's one of the few times a restaurant will. It took over a former Outback Steakhouse. It's one of the few times a restaurant takes over a chain prototype building and it doesn't totally look like the old chain.
It's nice of them to do that. I'm still Arcadian Grill is where I'm at when it comes to seafood. But yeah.
Or especially Cajun food.
Yeah.
The Cake Gallery has reopened in Bel Air Plaza, 120th and West Center Road. You'll recall they were in Westgate Plaza for 60 years, and there was some controversy with them being pushed out of there after their lease expired to make way for a Westlake Ace hardware store. That hardware store is now open. The Cake Gallery is in Bel Air Plaza. And folks, can we please live happily ever after now?
We'll see the videos and find out.
Burger Detour has permanently closed both of its locations, 204th and Pacific, as well as West Maple. We also have the City Pub closed recently in La Vista City Center. How depressing is this? We've got 4 closings. Matilda Flower Shop in the Old Market, it's closed, but their rest of its business, the non-retail side of its business, stays open. And CVS Pharmacy has closed a store at 8315 West Center Road.
It's called Commercial Vacancy Soon.
That's just what their competitors at Walgreens like to call it, right?
They don't have much room to talk, but yeah.
Well, yeah, it's a good point. There's a share of these Walgreens that have been closing lately. I can't figure that out. Why these drugstores close. I mean, there's something beyond my pay grade. And thank God the music is playing so I don't have to come up with something.
Absolutely.
At any rate, we hope everyone has enjoyed the show. And we also hope that you have a great, happy, healthy, and safe weekend. We want to thank our sponsors. They are Perkins Kreitzer Construction, Cheer Athletics, and Dingman's Collision Center. We'll chat with you next week at 9 o'clock. I'm Jeff Beals.
And I'm Trenton Maggot.
You've been listening to Grow Omaha on News Radio 1110 KFAB. If you like this video, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And remember, Grow Omaha is not just media. This is a mission. We are trying to build up Omaha and make it an even better place. We can only do that with your help. Share this video with your friends, neighbors, and family.